cartoons. Being a kid of the 80s, there were several things that were unique to my growing up experience, especially when it came to pop culture. MTV, sugar cereal commercials,
where they'll take the sweet juice and put it into new OJs, a crunchy, delicious, orange-tasting cereal.
and of course, those cartoons, specifically Saturday morning and weekday afternoon cartoons.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I personally loved so many shows as a child, ranging from the superhero type shows like Space Ghost, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Thundercats, to sci-fi type shows like Robotech, Voltron, and Transformers. And usually, as a kid, you'd expect the heroes to be the main focal point to why I'd love these shows. That wasn't the case for me. I always liked the villains. Most times, I preferred them over the heroes.
Mr. Cage from Tumumra.
So that's why for this list, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 cartoon villains from the 80s. For this list, I'm choosing the villains that I found most interesting and, yes, diabolical, but mostly entertaining.
Winning is everything, winning is everything. I want everybody to know my name. I'm aiming for success, gonna do what it takes. If someone gets hurt, well, them's a break.
Musical, rock star, punky, badass girls. Where do I sign?
Jam is my name. Misfits, our songs are better. We are the misfits, and we're gonna get her.
Pizzazz, Roxy, and Stormer, later Jetta made them a 4-piece, were the rival rock band to the titular Gem and the Holograms in their pop rock style.
I need fresh blood. Like the Misfits, Pizzazz, Roxy, and Stormer!
But this went way beyond your run-of-the-mill music rivalry like Sammy vs. Diamond Dave, or Eddie vs. Steve Vai, or even Katie vs. Taylor. The Misfits have actually nearly killed members of the Holograms. That's right, nearly killed them. Kimber was once left for dead in a volcano in the famous Misfits in Hawaii episode.
We're misfits, misfits in Hawaii.
Although the true baddie of the show is Starlight Music President and the Misfits agent Eric Raymond, the Misfits carry out all of the evil deeds needed to defeat Gem and the Holograms. Not to mention how unintentionally funny the Misfits are. Plus, their music kinda kills.
Surprise, surprise, we're claiming the prize. They're making the final leap. We're taking it all. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
The short-lived original run of Inspector Gadget is by far the best one that's ever been made.
Look, Brain, he's coming back. Isn't that typical? They drive like maniacs, and then they don't know where they're going.
Dr. Claw is a James Bond-style villain whose face is never seen and has a simply terrifying voice.
My phony Martians will loot all of Metro City while I personally eliminate Gadget forever.
Usually he's only seen as metal hands, either stroking his cat, not a euphemism for something, actually stroking a cat, or driving his vehicle, which is a car, boat, sub, plane, helicopter, etc.
Here's one for the road, Gadget. I feel like singing.
Dr. Claw is the leader of a terrorist organization called MAD, which stands for Malevolent Agency of Destruction, or flat out mean and dirty, and sees Inspector Gadget as his main nemesis despite knowing he's accident prone.
How do I open the window? Maybe this'll do it. This must be it.
What Dr. Claw doesn't know is Penny and Brain are the real heroes of this scenario. He thinks they're just Gadget's minions, and it's always his downfall.
Whoa!
to learn to drive more carefully.
The main thing that I love about Dr. Claw is that voice. You can't go wrong with that voice. Provided mostly by the amazing Frank Welker,
I'll get you, Gadget, if it's the last thing I do, Gadget!
who is most well known for being Fred from Scooby-Doo. Dr. Claw would end every episode with that voice saying the legendary catchphrase,
Next time, Gadget, I promise I'll get you next time.
Marching along as their song fills the air. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
The main enemy of the Kingdom of Dunwin, Igthorn, is the enemy of the titular gummy bears because they have special abilities that can give him the power he needs to defeat King Gregor.
You really think I'd give you the recipe, Duke Iron Britches?
Oh, but you will. We have ways of making gummy bears talk. Take her to the dungeon.
Duke Igthorn, or Dookie, which his army of ogres refer to him as,
Okie dokie dookie.
which he very much hates, was once a decorated knight of Dunwin, but was exiled by King Gregor for conspiring against him.
And just where do you think you're going?
To fight alongside you, O wondrous and courageous leader.
So the Duke took over neighboring Castle Drekmore and the resident ogres and unhatches scheme after scheme to control his beloved Dunwin.
I ordered this months ago, and now at last it's mine. This is a magic bagpipe. It says play this bagpipe once a day and watch what will unfold. For all who hear its pleasant tune will do what they are told. What are you trying to do to me?
Duke Igthorn is all the things I truly love in a villain. He's maniacal, mean, and diabolical.
Dimwits of Dunwin, this is your master calling. Come to Papa.
He's a badass too, strong and a solid fighter, being a former decorated knight and all. He's also both intentionally and very unintentionally hilarious with his interactions with both the soldier ogres and his right-hand man, mini ogre, Toadstool.
Dookie, did you get him?
He didn't stand a chance, that flea-bitten rent-a-bum bounty hunter turned tail when I stood up to him, that coward. Don't let him get me. Save me.
American hero, G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and Destro, fighting to save the day.
Cobra Commander is solely on this list for comedic reasons only.
You call this success? You let them have the fuel and bring me a bean?
Sure, he's maniacal, evil, and absolutely wants to rule the world like a pure fascist dictator, but without his henchmen Destro and Major Blood, spelled B-L-U-D-D, because you know,
Kids.
it's a kid's show. You can't have blood, like actual blood.
Yeah.
Cobra Commander would be nothing more than a sniveling fry cook or less somewhere else in the world if it wasn't for Destro and Major Blood.
We are disappointed. You were expected days ago, Destro.
The shipment was difficult to assemble, and I lost more time climbing to this ridiculously melodramatic location.
But what he lacks in actual brawn and might, he makes up for in hilarious temper tantrums worthy of a toddler.
No! How could they? They do this to me! Will you work? Will you work? No! Foiled by a cattle stampede! A cattle stampede! I can't believe it! Release me! This is mutiny!
Classically voiced by Chris Latta, who also voiced another whiny supervillain, Starscream, Megatron's right-hand bot from Transformers fame.
Our clever leader doesn't know what it does.
By no means am I saying that this is any kind of reflection on Mr. Latta at all as a person, although I guess you'd have to ask his friends and family if he really sounds that whiny. I just think, though, that this voice,
You arrogant fool!
comes from tremendous acting.
What are you doing? Advance! Advance! Retreat! Retreat!
and is one of the most memorable of my childhood.
Everyone is against me!
And that brings us to our number one selection, but before we get to that, I want to remind you of all those social media type places, at Videos Beard on Twitter, Redbeard Videos on Facebook, and believe it or not, at Redbeard Videos on TikTok. Be nice, laugh at me, whatever. But like those videos and follow me there because it's always a good time. Oh, and don't forget, there are more amazing villains that I just couldn't list in these 5. So here are your honorable mentions.
Get them! Stop those puzzlers! For I am Mum-Ra, and wherever evil exists, Mum-Ra lives.
Me? Why are you being so generous? I thought you hated me. You're nothing but a throbbing, pulsating brain. Why not leave the messy details of conquering the world to me?
No, I'll get him, Adriel. He got you, you wretched little smurf. My, he's a feisty little fellow, but he's hardly a match for... We could have eliminated them.
We'll do that at our leisure, when our more important work is done. You have had the only warning I intend to give.
Who calls so loud? Good grief. Watch it. Just watch it. These hands are lethal weapons. One wrong word, and I'll practice my pugilism, and you'll get lots of pummelings and punch. And punch. I'll hit you.
Only 3 others share this secret. Our friends, the Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Orko. Together, we defend Castle Grayskull from the evil forces of Skeletor.
You had to know that this was going to be number 1. Any person that knows me for more than, 4.5 minutes knows that Skeletor is one of my all-time favorite things, period.
You just hypnotized yourself, Boreas. Now you will do whatever I tell you to.
Yes, Skeletor.
First, we'll put you away in a nice, cozy place.
Powerful, menacing, insult artist, and a straight badass, there's no better villain to have graced the TV airwaves on the afternoons of the 1980s than the one and only bonehead himself, that's Skeletor.
They should call you Wimplash. Quiet, or I'll turn you into a suitcase.
Main foil to He-Man in the Kingdom of Eternia, everything about Skeletor is simply badass or hilarious.
Listen, I am not nice, I am not kind, and I am not wonderful.
Even his inevitable failures are spectacular.
Why do I surround myself with fools? Even the robots are smarter than you.
Let's start with his overall look. That skull face with the dark purple skull hood, crossbones across the breastplate, and he wields a staff with a ram skull mounted on top of it called the Havoc Staff. That's metal as shit. Dio thinks that's fucking cool. That's how awesome that is. A side note here, I have to tell you that there's a story in my head. Skeletor and another character in this list, on this list, Duke Igthorn, are actually one and the same. Like, follow me on this train of thought, right? Because if you look at them, I believe that Skeletor is either Igthorn, like, thousands of years later, or he's like Duke Igthorn in another reality. Not to go all like I said, I don't want to get into like canons and, you know, their Doctor Strange is gonna show up and do the little ring thing and the circle is gonna show up and he's gonna pop through and go, hey, what's happening? But I mean, look at them. Look, I'm gonna put them together. I think I'm onto something here. Anyway, Skeletor, a lot like Cobra Commander, is full-on comedy all the damn time.
Honest men do an honest day's work, or I destroy their village.
And usually leaves the dirty work to his collection of minions like Beastman, Trapjaw, Evil Lyn, and a whole host of morons. But unlike Cobra Commander, Skeletor is a legitimate badass and can mix it up with He-Man if he really needs to.
That'll slow him down for a while. Long enough for us to find what we came for.
Skeletor is a master sorcerer of dark magic, a scientist. He's able to hypnotize and control people and animals. He can teleport and is physically stronger than most beings, but he's no match for He-Man in the strength department.
Wouldn't want you to hurt yourself, Skeletor.
Let me go! How dare you embarrass me in front of everyone!
Basically, the reason Skeletor ultimately loses all the time is his ego and overconfidence. In essence, he's just an egomaniacal ass.
I demand to be amused!
And that's why I love him so dearly. I love him so much that for years now, I've wanted to write and produce a talk show for him, a la Space Ghost Coast to Coast, for those of you who might know that show.
Welcome my next guest, Slash. Yeah? Okay.
So I can just watch it. I don't even want to make any money off of it. I just want to be able to sit down and watch a show that Skeletor, like, hosts as a talk show host and makes fun of people while he's doing it.
Skeletor to King Randor! Skeletor to King Randor! Come in, you royal boob!
Can we get that done? Is there anyone out there? Get in touch with me, because I want to produce that show with you.
Well, I don't like to feel good. I like to feel evil. Oh.
And that's my list. That's the top 5 cartoon villains from the 80s. Where did your favorite one fall? Did it make the list at all? Let me know in the comments. Please leave them in the comments if you agree, disagree, or otherwise, or you just want to add to my list or applaud me for my list or whatever. Throw them in the comments. Find me on social media. Also, while you're typing out that awesome comment, please like, subscribe, the whole YouTube gamut, because I enjoy interacting with you. So please continue to interact with me. And as always, thank you so much for being here with me, as I so much enjoy being here with you. And until next time, finger guns, I'm out.